Hello one all, it's my viewer Doc Stone, chapter 148, Pioneers of Earth, and we open up with everyone just so freaking happy to finally have made it to America, to finally be off this freaking boat, and finally have a chance to fill their bellies with some meat. Apparently they haven't had a chance to have a whole lot of meat on this boat ride, which I guess kind of makes sense. I mean, they do have like preserved dried meat, like basically beef jerky, but that's not really the same as, fresh meat, I guess. And Kurosami actually looks particularly hungry, and it's such an absolutely adorable look on her. I love it. You just gotta love Taiji, who views this whole thing as like vacation. Like he actually says, I wouldn't know since this is my first overseas vacay. Vacay, not vacation, vacay. Oh, he's just so happy. It's just so cute. But as they pass through the famous San Francisco fog, their happiness proves very short-lived. As they're met with a scene they know all too well. Stone statues, frozen, with a look of confusion and horror upon their faces. And Jen looks particularly devastated by all this. They all knew deep in their hearts that there was little to no chance that America had found a way, some way to manage to survive the petrification beam. There was, civilization in America. They managed to, make Jen's lies into reality. They managed to survive this somehow. Because that was the case, America would have spread out, taken over Japan, and they would have been American people waiting for them when Senku woke up. Or they would have just undone all the petrifications, and then Senku wouldn't have had to wait for the bats in the cave to wake him up. But still, every last one of them is holding on to this little tiny bit of hope that somehow, some way, there was still some remnant of human civilization left, and that is not the case. And as we see this just pile of statues, oh God, it's just so overwhelmingly depressing until you realize why they're like that, why they're in the middle of the water. I assumed, maybe the tide went up, maybe California sunk a little. No, they're in the water because they were on the freaking Golden Gate Bridge. They were on the Golden Gate Bridge, one of the greatest things we have ever made. One of the biggest things we've ever made as a species. And it's gone. It is literally withered away to nothing. There is no fragment or piece of it left standing. Jesus freaking Christ, that is depressing. That is seriously, seriously depressing. I mean, this is something people died building. It took years and years to make. And it's just gone. One of the biggest things ever made is just gone. And as the ship passes through with the fog, creates a ghost-like appearance to it, as if it is a spectre of the past, which it truly is. And like I said, just utterly heartbreaking. I just freaking love how this was done. But this is enough to get Taiji or Senku down, and Senku announces, yeah, don't worry, we're going to save them all. We're going to save all 7.8 billion members of humanity, which, I like your optimism, Senku, I really do. Often it's my favorite trait of yours, but I feel like you're being a little too hopeful right here. I mean, we've seen way too many smashed or destroyed statues, things that fell over cliffs, things that just broke over time, things that were destroyed for one reason or another. I feel like that number needs to go down a little bit. Like, let's say maybe 4 billion, maybe 6. But, I don't think there's 7.8 billion statues that are still revivable at this time, if you know what I'm saying. Anyway, then they split their forces and start scouring the land for corn. And you just gotta love that Senku has basically a map of the entire freaking world memorized. So he knows exactly where they are in the river and exactly where they need to go to find the corn they're looking for. Which is so utterly amazing. I love it. They are a little low on time. And of course, Senku, because of processioning, there's tilt and all that, they have an extra 9 days in the growing season before the corn's going to wither. Though that does make it seem like they aren't actually planning on growing any corn this year. They're going to find the corn, harvest it, use it to make a little moonshine, use just harvest seeds. They'll be ready for next season so they can grow it in mass. If that's the case, though, they really gonna need to hurry up, buckle down, get the corn, and just start prepping for winter, essentially. Curious about that. Though this could also cause some change in the ecosystem, and Senku's a little worried they might come across some wild beasts. And I just absolutely love that Kohaku and Tsukasa are on the same page for, like, the first time ever. I mean, these two literally tried to kill each other the first time they met. And now they're both agreeing, yeah, it'd be great if we were attacked by some wild animals, and oh God, you just gotta love Jen's line here. Speak of the devil, as always, dear Senku, I should have realized, it's not merely that you have bad luck, you have none to speak of it. You use your scientific mind to concoct the worst case scenario, and every time, as soon as you utter it, crocodiles! Or alligators. No, wait. Crocodiles, yeah, it's a crocodile burger they ate later on. No, I looked at it's gators. It's gator burgers they ate later on. So yeah, as far as I know, there are not supposed to be giant gators in California, but like Senku said, the ecosystems change without humans, you know? Who knows what these animals are gonna do, but yeah, not gonna lie, this was an utterly terrifying shot as these basically prehistoric monsters jumped to the boat and tried to eat Senko. And the boat. They tried to eat the boat too. But then they are faced with a much more terrifying sight as all of the world's strongest people, yeah, literally all the strongest people in the world, jump their boat over the water and to realize here now, oh, we messed with the wrong people. We messed with the wrong hairless apes. As we get this absolutely amazing all-star lineup of everyone, all of the strongest people in the world, literally, jumping from the boat and attacking the gators. And it is absolutely freaking amazing. I love this shot. And I love Sukusa's new sword. It's such an awesome weapon. Anyway then, thanks to the amazing skills of Francois, they get gator burgers. And of course, the first meal they have in America has to be a double-decker burger. I mean, that really is like the one food we can claim heritage to. I actually looked this up, the history of the burger. It is a very, very long history, and it's very argued what the first historic case of a burger was. Some people say Germany, other people say America. I mean, literally, I looked this up, and it was pages and pages of Wikipedia articles discussing the origins of the burger. Did not realize it was that long, but yeah, I'm gonna say this is a food that we can really say belongs to America. I mean, Germany, you have your brats and your beer. What do we have? Pizza? That's Italy's thing. So let's just say we have the burger. You know, that's something we can claim heritage to. Though I really must wonder how the heck they're going to get this giant burger into their mouths. I've never been one to have a burger quite this large before. I prefer thin patties. I literally cannot imagine a person being able to get their mouth around this thing. Anyway, then as Tsukasa is cutting out the meat, he notices something inside the gator's stomach. And he just pops it right out of the stomach and throws it at Senku. Turns out it's an ear of corn, and the exact variety they are looking for. So good for them! Honestly, this seemed a little too lucky, like a little too perfect for them, but I mean, gators are known to eat literally, you know, anything they come across, anything that wanders into their path. And you've heard stories of them being cut open and having their stomachs full of golf balls. So this isn't that strange, and if there is a, corn plantation just up the road, it could certainly make sense that one would fall into the river and, gator would come across it and eat it thinking it was food. Well, thinking it was food that it could digest. Personally, I'm more surprised that corn is still around. I've said this quite a bit through my other videos, but corn doesn't naturally exist. I mean, we, had to breed corn specially to make it into what it is today, so for it to continue to exist for 3,000 years... I mean, Senku's that's the exact variety I'm looking for, so it clearly hasn't mutated all that much. I'm just kind of curious how the wild corn is growing. I mean, corn, I feel like it's something like squirrels or chipmunks could, carry the seeds of it all around and plant it and help it grow like that, but I don't know, just a little surprised that it's still in the recognizable state it is. Also, I just really have to take a moment to praise Boichi once again for this amazing shot of Senku's hands. I mean, seriously, look at these fingers! They are covered in cuts and scratches and his nails are worn down. I mean, these are not the hands of a modern time scientist. These are a dedication to Senku's perseverance, to all the work he's done, to all the science he's done that has resulted in his hands being cut again and again, his nails being worn down like that. I mean, it's definitely a small detail. It's not something I noticed the first time I read it, but I just absolutely love the small detail and attention to that, how they're really showing how hard Senku's worked. I mean, they say that you can, know the character of a man by looking at his hands. Mine are as soft as a noble, sad to say, but Senku's, that is a working man's hand. That is a hand that shows dedication and perseverance, and I just love that. So yeah, this was a pretty interesting chapter. They're finally in America. Their first meal was a burger, most American thing I can imagine. A gator burger. From the gators, they fought to death. Oh, that is so American. I freaking love it. And they found corn right away, which, like I said, a little too convenient. But they killed quite a few gators, and like I said, gators will eat basically anything, so it does make sense that there would be corn in his stomach. I guess next chapter is them going to continue up the river finding cornfields. I'm, like I said, very curious to see how they're growing now. I mean, definitely won't be like how we imagine, corn growing in rows and rows. That's man-made. This will be more wild and spread out. Still, though, they need, like, space, open field. There can't be trees around them. They block the sunlight. I'm just really curious to see how this corn is growing. I mean, maybe there are actually still people, just like a small civilization, and they're growing the corn. I mean, because that would make a lot of sense right now, but just not sure. Okay, also, at some point, they're going to have to start waking people up, waking up Americans. And who exactly are they going to wake up? I mean, I originally thought, it has to be someone famous enough that they recognize them. Like, oh, that is the great agricultural scientist, Ben Johnson. We all know Ben Johnson. We've seen him on the news. Yes, Ben Johnson. We'll wake up Ben Johnson. But, I mean, the odds of them finding someone they recognize is fairly low. I mean, Jen has been to America. I think Sux has been to America for his fighting tournaments. But the chance they'd see someone they recognize who's a master at farming is fairly low. And are they just going to wander around until they find what they think might have been a farming field and find someone they think might have been a farmer? I don't know. It's very strange. I'm not sure. I'll leave that down below. How are they going to choose to wake up next? What are they going to find waiting for them in the cornfields? Anyone left in America? Anybody? Be sure to leave all that down below. Be sure to like, subscribe to the next video. That will be a while. The next chapter doesn't come out till May 10th. It's off again next week for Golden Week, which is very bad timing since they were off last week because of the virus. So, yeah. But until then,
peace.